What is going on, fans in the land of wrestling? It's just another wrestling podcast. Not that there's 30 million of them already out there. J Money here, alongside the Howler of 1,000 Moons of different colors, may I ask, Gerard the Wolf.
Will you cut that crap out?
So how many moons do you actually howl at?
I swear, WrestleMania, me and you.
You are the wolf. You do know wolves howl at the moon.
That is a name. That is a name, and that's all I'm going to say on that one.
Well, before we came on the air, I told you I went to 30 Seconds of Mars and walked the moon Thursday night, and when 30 Seconds to Mars came on, they asked everyone in the audience to howl at the moon, and I was seriously just looking for you.
Bull crap.
I know you.
Bull crap.
1,000 moons. I mean, hey.
J Money, I will reach across this desk and I will knock you out.
If only you can reach me. All right, so let's get into some headlines here. We're going to preview Extreme Rules, which is this weekend, in Kurt Angle's hometown of Pittsburgh.
Really?
Yep.
Cool.
So let's get into the headlines. The main one, Caitlyn, as you know, a former
WWE Divas champion.
Divas champion.
Will
and
be in
Divas Search winner, too.
Oh, yes.
She will be coming back. She will be participating
annual...
Mae Young Classic.
Exactly.
Do you think she's going to win it?
I doubt it. They would rather have a new face win that. Caitlyn has already been established. It's not been that long, and people haven't really forgotten her.
Yep.
So she'll have a good go at it, but I see somebody else getting that one.
Yeah. And now, as many of you know, Raw had its lowest viewership ever.
I heard that
this past Monday on Raw, which we will be getting into. But according,
Vince is not happy.
Yeah, Vince is not happy. But Paul Heyman was listed as a writer on the Raw's production sheet. He was mainly in the part of the Lashley Reigns segment, which I thought was very good. Do you think they're gonna get Paul Heyman involved more now that Lesnar's kind of fading off? But he has been confirmed for SummerSlam.
They need to get Paul involved more. Heyman, he one time, I think I remember one time him and Dutch Mantel wrote on a Raw when Vince just got rid of a bunch of writers and he let them write on it, and it was actually the highest.
Yeah, because I know the only time Heyman will be on TV is if he's doing something with Brock Lesnar.
Exactly, but if Paul Heyman has a mind. He created ECW. Mm-hmm. He is creative, and if you got that kind of person, you need to utilize him more.
Yeah, and the last headline. This one was floating around the rumor mill. Later on down the line in 2018, according to Ryan Satin of the Pro Wrestling Sheet, there's plans for an all-women's pay-per-view.
I can see that happening.
I could really see that happening, especially with all the momentum that the women are gaining now. All right, those are the headlines. Let's jump over to Monday Night Raw. As we mentioned, it was the lowest viewed Raw in history. But one of the highlights, now before Raw actually, started, Reigns was walking backstage and Lashley dared him to call him out. And he ended up doing that. And those two ended up had a pretty nice brawl.
It was Brock and Undertaker all over again. Think about it.
But if you think about it, this one didn't really go backstage. Lesnar Undertaker went backstage. But yeah, I will admit that this one was one of the highlights of Raw. Even though it kicked it off,
yeah,
it was very good.
We know what that was for. That was to try to get some heat going behind this match.
Yeah. Nia Jax and Natalya defeated Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Kind of an up and down match.
Yeah.
But Bliss attacked Nia with a kendo stick. I've been drinking.
I can tell. I thought we talked about this.
Hey.
There is help for that.
Sure. Just like you need help howling at the moon too often.
You're gonna cut that out. One day you're gonna push me. One day.
You are the wolf. I'm just saying. So.
And I got a pack, too.
With a
you want to see it?
Kendo stick. All I got to do is just pay him off.
Crap.
So, attacked Nia with a kendo stick, but Nia snapped it in half, which I was not.
Did that even really hurt Nia?
I was kind of surprised it was. With Nia's height and size,
that's actually just as silly as Roman Reigns getting hit with a kendo stick when he's wearing a body vest and actually wincing in pain. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah. Mojo Rawley easily defeated No Way Jose. And
And didn't he throw like one of the conga line members across the arena?
I think he did. I'm not sure.
That poor guy should have got. Yeah. I hope he got paid extra for that throw.
Poor cheeseburger man.
Hope he got paid extra.
Yep. Now the B team is continuing to gain momentum over Hardy and Wyatt. Bo Dallas defeated Matt Hardy.
I'm behind this.
This is actually getting a lot of momentum for him, and you know what? I'm actually liking this.
I'm happy that those guys are getting an opportunity. I really wanted to see Bo and
I actually like them making fun of Hardy and Wyatt every week.
Yeah, it works.
It's really creative,
and it's getting under the Wyatt and Hardy skin.
Yeah. Ember Moon defeated Liv Morgan.
There's a feud there going on with the Wyatt Squad and Ember Moon.
But here's the thing. You can look at this and you can go to SmackDown with those factions that Ruby Riott did and Paige did, and they're just starting to lose left and right.
Exactly.
So
yeah, they're not doing much unless Ruby Riott is with the Riott Squad.
But Ruby Riott is injured.
Yes, I heard. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Corbin and Elias defeated Rude and Finn Balor. This was one of the two best. This is one of the two best matches of the night. I really like the back and forth on this one. Kevin Owens was hiding from Braun Strowman, but Kurt Angle made
his little dip in the
after his little dip in the pool. But Kurt Angle makes a cage match with them at Extreme Rules. What I really liked about that is at the end, Strowman was smelling around. He's like, "You reek of fear," and he sprays the air freshener right in front of Kevin Owens, which I thought was pretty creative.
You could have said he reeked of something else, but with PG, we can't say that.
Oh, whatever. Drew McIntyre defeated Seth Rollins. Now there was some implications in this match.
I understand if Drew won, if Seth won, Drew was banned from ringside. But if Drew won, he stays.
But those two had a segment early on where he was making fun of Drew, which I thought was pretty creative. Because he said even though he is from Scotland, there are a lot of sheep out there, which I'm sure was a rib on him.
I like the little
bad
innuendo,
man. So
the innuendo of it too, I think.
Yeah. So overall, Raw, I mean, had its moments, but it was very down.
Yeah.
Then now we go to 24 hours later on SmackDown Live. The tension between Miz and Bryan starting to heat up again. But even though they're in different, even though Miz doesn't really have anything going on for him, Bryan's in a
trying
segment
to keep
with
it
Kane.
alive.
Yeah. Now the chaos broke between Team Hell No, the Bludgeon Brothers, Sanity, and New Day on Miz TV, which would set up a 10-man tag team match later on that night.
And Bryan is still considered the weakest link. I'm just kidding.
I still love the chemistry between Kane and Daniel Bryan.
I mean, their chemistry works well.
Yeah. AJ Styles defeated Shinsuke Nakamura via a disqualification.
And there was no
there was no low blow.
Low blows. I mean,
Rusev got involved, which actually led to Styles and Hardy, former TNA stars, defeating Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I guess the blood between AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy is pretty much over ever since Hardy's TNA meltdown. So.
Oh yeah, they did. I didn't know they had any issues too much. Maybe I did. I just forgotten.
Well, because if I remember from that 24 special, they actually showed that, and they showed all the behind the scenes stuff with it. They even had an interview with Sting, Eric Bischoff, about Hardy's state of mind during that match.
Oh yeah.
Asuka defeated Ellsworth in a lumberjack or lumberjill match.
Ellsworth, you get him messed up then, buddy.
Bless his soul.
God.
El Dilo Andrade Cien Almas defeated Sin Cara.
Are they trying to start something with those two? It seems like they're trying to build a feud.
Well, I just think Almas deserves a U.S. title. Well, he deserves to be in the U.S. title picture.
Yeah.
And then Team Hell No and New Day defeated Sanity and the Bludgeon Brothers. Team Hell No riding a hot streak. Do you think they're going to win the tag team championship? Which we probably will get into a little bit later.
They could go that way, but they're still trying to do that Miz and Bryan thing.
Yeah.
So what, you're going to have them be the champions and then have Miz and Bryan go off and do something.
Yeah.
Like off to the
Or
side.
do you do like a Miz Bryan at SummerSlam, then kind of hold it off until WrestleMania where they finish it?
Finish the Miz and Bryan thing?
Yeah.
If you can wait that long,
yeah.
You're talking about next year, all the way in April of next year. So
yeah, all the way in April.
I really can't do it sometimes. They really can't wait. I think they did it with the Roman Reigns and Brock thing or something.
Yeah.
But
which to me went on way too damn long.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, so overall SmackDown was pretty decent. It was good.
Have you caught any 205 Live?
Which we are getting into right now.
I was about to say, we have to start incorporating that here.
Which, well, we have been the last couple of weeks. I don't know if you've been asleep. You've been asleep the last couple of weeks.
Be quiet.
We have been talking about this.
No, we haven't. I think we started talking about it last week.
Look, I know how good you are at night because wolves come out at night.
Be quiet.
I'm just saying wolves come out at night.
I don't know about my nightlife. Be quiet.
Kalisto and Tony Nese went to a no contest, which they kind of need to do away with those no contests on 205 Live.
Yeah, they really don't serve any purpose. That's too many no contests. Really not doing anything. You need to have decisive winners.
Leo Rush defeated Colin Delaney when Akira Tozawa was watching, which set up Tozawa versus Leo Rush for next week.
And another thing, the way that Leo Rush is talking on a mic, it sounds weird, like he's trying too hard a little bit. You notice that?
Oh,
like his voice, like he's saying, "Why are you?" Like his voice is kind of high pitched at some points, and he sounds like he's trying to memorize the lines from a script, right there on the spot. It doesn't sound natural.
Yeah. Cedric Alexander defeated Hideo Itami to retain the Cruiserweight Championship.
I really was kind of worried on that one. I thought, you know what? They probably could give this to Itami. That's the one I really thought, Itami had a chance of winning.
Yeah.
Itami, the way he is.
But do you think they should have waited on this match till Extreme Rules?
I thought that's what the plan was. I remember.
Or do you think they're going to pull something out at Extreme Rules?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. All right, now we go to NXT. Very, very good show, I would say. Adam Cole defeated Danny Burch. Adam Cole is the North American champion. Yes. Would you consider that like a mid-card championship?
Exactly. I believe it is.
Okay.
But also, I originally thought that's what the UK title was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But now we know that's a world title for its own show.
Yeah.
This would be the mid-card title, the North American Championship.
Yep. Let's see. We're on the list. Okay. Kairi Sane defeated Vanessa Bourne. And after Kairi called out Shayna Baszler, saying, "I beat you once and I can do it again."
Again.
Yep.
Again.
Now, before NXT started, they showed this segment. Johnny Gargano was talking with Aleister Black outside of the arena, talking about Ciampa's NXT title match, and told him, "Don't worry about it. I got it covered." And that led to Tommaso Ciampa attacking Aleister Black when he entered into the building.
I'm surprised Johnny didn't run back and attack him.
Well, I think he's going to come out for the NXT title match because that's the only way you're going to keep this feud alive, even though they've kind of separated themselves from it for just a little bit.
So
Tommaso Ciampa
over to keep him from getting the title.
And I think these two are going to settle it at TakeOver Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess either 3 Stages of Hell, Last Man Standing, or an I Quit match. It has to be one of those three.
You're dead set on those.
Yep. And the Undisputed Era.
Did you say Hell in a Cell?
I don't think I said Hell in a Cell. I don't know. That's not more of an NXT thing.
Another podcaster I listened to, he's suggested that or brought it up. So I'm like, that could be interesting to have it for the first time in NXT. So that could be another one we got to consider. There could be a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
I mean, their match is kind of extreme anyway, the way it's been presented. So you could have a match like that.
Yeah. The Undisputed Era regained their NXT Tag Team Championship. Tyler Bate threw in the towel.
That was a good match. They told a story with what they were doing to Trent Seven.
Yeah.
That told a story. They worked over that leg the entire time. Mm-hmm. That was excellent.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, he's going to throw this towel. I hoped he didn't, but I had a feeling he was going to throw that towel in there. Mm-hmm. And I kind of can't help but wonder, is this going to affect their team now?
Yeah.
Is this going to cause Trent Seven? This is going to lead to a Trent Seven heel turn.
Yeah.
This could break up Mustache Mountain. Because you can't keep a team. No matter when a team is doing good and it seems like everything's buddy, you always have them breaking up and splitting at some point.
But do you think they should make this kind of less predictable? Because, again, we all expected Tommaso Ciampa to turn on Johnny Gargano at one point during...
Yeah, because the team was doing too good.
Yeah.
And at some point, that all changes.
Yeah.
this team is doing too good right now. Mustache Mountain is doing too good right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to last. Something's going to happen. It is becoming. I'm anticipating it. I'm jumping the gun, but I'm anticipating something to happen at some point. This might just be the catalyst for it.
Absolutely. All right, now shall we preview Extreme Rules?
Do you want to try to get through the little bit of the rest of or do you want to do like TNA afterwards or Ring of Honor after that?
We can save Extreme Rules till towards the end of the show.
Yeah, I think that'd be better. Let's talk about TNA a little bit.
All right.
And then we'll get off on Ring of Honor. And talking after that, let's talk about New Japan because they did have a show in San Francisco this Sunday.
Yep.
And I watched it over the course of the week and finished it. Mm-hmm. And I might say that was an excellent show, but we'll get into that after we talk about these two.
Absolutely. For Impact, the new LAX, which is
called
the
OGs
because they consist
the original LAX
defeated Silver Smith and Lee.
Just some jobbers.
Yep.
They don't have names in my mind. They're just jobbers.
Allie defeated the person you were talking about before we came on the air.
Shazzy Blackheart.
Yep.
And who she is, she was originally in the last season of Tough. Well, not actually the last season. She was in the show where they had people come in and try out to try to see if they can even be on the show. She was the redhead that kept saying she was ballsy. Mm-hmm. I think the reason why she got cut from that is because I think she had respiratory problems like asthma or something. So that would have made it impossible for her to become a wrestler. But look, she's been wrestling for, I guess, Shimmer, or the female wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
And that got her, and she did so well that it got her a debut match on TNA last night.
Yep. But after the match, Tessa Blanchard attacked Allie after the match, which set up those two to go at it at Slammiversary.
Exactly. Also, Tessa Blanchard has signed a multi-year contract with TNA, so she's going to be there for an extended period. Which is interesting. TNA hasn't been known to have that kind of money for talent.
Yeah. There was a new knockout coming soon. They kind of previewed this a little bit, but it kind of had that James Bond feel to it.
We still don't know who this is. Hopefully it's no one we know that they're just doing that for, and it's actually a new person.
Yeah.
It could be another person from NXT that was on Tough Enough, because they've been using some of the Tough Enough people.
And then former NFL running back D'Angelo Williams came out
to give us an update on Moose's
training, and he and Austin Aries confronted each other.
Because he did talk about Aries, and knew Aries was going to come out.
Eli Drake defeated Grado.
Get it right.
OVE and Sami Callihan defeated Pentagon Jr., Phoenix, and Rich Swann. Now, Sami Callihan is supposed to go one-on-one with Pentagon Jr.
Mask versus hair.
Classic
match.
Yep.
And I do suspect that Sammy's gonna lose because they're not taking Pentagon Jr.'s mask off.
Oh no!
Not while he's in Lucha Underground with it.
Yep.
So Sammy's gonna be bald.
Speaking of Lucha, how about we get into that a little bit?
Also, there was another thing at the end of TNA
with Madison Rayne.
But beforehand, they actually had tried to do her interview, and then she got up in the middle of it. This was like in the middle of the show. She got up and walked around, try to see what was going on. Then they cut it, and then they didn't preview the rest of it until like at the end. Yeah. Where she was confronted by the undead bridesmaids.
Or as I call it, the people from The Purge.
What is with you and The Purge?
I'm just saying, that's what it looks like. Have you not seen those movies?
I guess I have to now. I guess I actually have to watch these now.
Well, it's kind of a controversial topic. What if all crime was legal for 12 hours?
Don't give certain people in office ideas.
I'm not.
Because we know what could happen if we had one of those.
Oh, geez. I don't think anybody would survive.
You surely wouldn't. Just saying.
Okay. Lucha. All right. Let's head over to Lucha.
Yes.
Matanza Cueto defeated Cortez Castro.
And sacrificed him, so he's gone. Basically, he's dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because when he's doing these sacrifices to the gods, he's dead.
One of the 7 ancient Aztec medallions was on the line. Ivelisse defeated the rock star himself, Joey Ryan.
The sleazy rock star.
The sleazy rock star, which his finishing move, which I saw at Ring of Honor, oh my God, it's so damn funny.
You mean the crotch thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch my language. We're not calling it the other one.
Tell me you saw, there was a video on the ESPN Snapchat about, I forget what promotion it was. There was a Michael Jackson wrestler. His finishing move is the moonwalk DDT.
No.
It's funny. Oh my God. You got to see this.
But
I wasn't sure what promotion it was. The Trios champions, which was the Mac, Killshot, and Son of Havoc, they were in a triple threat.
Dante Fox is who knows God's where, so you won't see him.
Yeah, well, all three of them fought each other for one of the Aztec medallions.
Two medallions.
Yeah, 2 medallions.
And if one of them got pinned, they get nothing, and the other two end up getting the medallions.
Yeah. Okay. The Mac got one of them. I think he pinned Killshot.
Yes, because of what Killshot did to him in Aztec warfare.
Yeah.
This is gonna set up some conflict within that Trios team.
Yeah. Mil Muertes defeated Cage to win the other Aztec medallion.
And Katrina is hot in that red dress. Yeah. Wait, what happened?
Keep your eyes in the back.
Be quiet.
Don't put your eyes in the back of your head.
Don't judge me. You know you were thinking the same thing. She was hot in that dress.
At least I keep it censored.
Be quiet. I didn't say anything.
Sure. I know you were thinking it.
Hush.
And then Paul London and this Rabbit Tribe cut
Paul
this
London
weird
is on
promo.
a nice little acid trip. That man is
really
on
is.
a good acid trip.
He is really on a big acid trip. I don't know what is wrong with him.
That is a broken universe acid trip.
Yeah. All right. So.
Well, wait. Another thing. They did something that I'm sorry. It is pretty ridiculous that they even did this. They murdered Maslita Sagrada in Lucha Underground. He is a well-known mini mask wrestler.
Yeah.
And they just killed him on TV like that.
I'm sure he'll come back as something. So
he'll come back as a zombie.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought that was like, oh my goodness, why'd y'all do that to him?
Yeah. Now, as we mentioned earlier, you have some news about Ring of Honor or New Japan. May I ask?
New Japan. Well, I watched the New Japan show that took place this past Sunday live on Access TV in San Francisco, and I don't know, I can't remember like most of the matches, but I will remember this one. I'll talk about some of the matches. I don't know if you caught it or anything.
I don't believe I did. So
I'll just talk about some of the matches.
Yeah.
I'll talk about this one match that took place. It was Rey Mysterio, I believe Tanahashi, and the legend himself, Jushin Thunder Liger, taking on members of... And I'm trying to think. I don't know if it was Suzuki-gun or not. I just remember that Ray was in the match. I think it might have been Suzuki-gun.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I would have to go back and look. So sorry to the audience. I would not know. I forget because I was watching over a period of this week because I had it recorded.
You're supposed to prep for the show. You know that, right?
Be quiet.
Uh-huh.
That's all I got you here for.
Too much howling at the moon.
I'm going to get you. But the match was excellent. Ray looked very good. Yeah. And to see him and Liger together, because I remember I actually watched some in WCW on YouTube once, and they wrestled. I know they wrestled there before, and I know Ray has been in New Japan back in his day in the 90s. But they did excellent. Liger never loses a step. He never ages. He's like Goldust. He never ages. The man is, I guess, in his 70s. Something, but he moves excellent in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
And still can do high flying. So he did great. The match was excellent.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
There you go.
And then, wait a minute. I think it might have been against, I think it was actually against the Tongas. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I have to go back and look because it was probably against either, I forget, Suzuki-gun or the Tongas. And if it was the Tongas, Haku was with them. Yeah. King Haku. The man that everyone feared in wrestling. This is the man you want with you when you're out in the club. So that was an excellent match. Seeing Ray do things they're bringing a lot of some of the big names in from WWE, so that's good. Yeah. Well, I hope we see more of Ray. I actually want to see Ray uninhibited in doing his thing. Like Chris Jericho, uninhibited and cursing up a storm. Good Lord, Jericho can cuss. I want that Chris Jericho all the time. I know I'm not going to get him in WWE. Well, yeah. But I love seeing him in New Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm going to talk about... No, there was other... I can't remember all the matches, so I'm not going to... There's so many on the card, so I'm just going to go to the main event. Kenny Omega versus...
Wasn't it Cody?
Cody Rhodes. Well... Cody, because they don't never call him Cody Rhodes. But this was an excellent match. There was a story being told here. The Young Bucks were at ringside. Cody's wife was at ringside. The Young Bucks was on Kenny's side, and they didn't want these guys. When these guys brought out tables or chairs or ladders, these guys were trying to remove that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They were trying to get it out the ring. They didn't want these guys to hurt each other. At one point, I think Kenny did a razor's edge or a powerbomb Cody out of the ring and threw him on the table.
Mm-hmm.
The table did not break. It looked like Cody busted his head on the table.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, these guys are going at it. In New Japan, you expect the matches to be crazy. This is stuff you won't never see in WWE.
No.
But that match was, and Cody dyed his hair back to dark. He's no longer
blonde.
Got the blonde. Apparently he has like a role for TV or a movie or something he's doing.
Yeah.
But Cody has been on his A game in Japan. He has been doing excellent.
Yep.
He and Kenny went back and forth. They were destroying one another. They were throwing each other in guardrails. They were just tearing it up. Oh, and I know another match I'll talk about. I'll get back to it after this one. But at the end of the match, Kenny won. And he actually helped up Cody. Cody accepted it, and Cody walked off. Kenny and them were about to leave. Then the other members of the Bullet Club, the Tongas, came out. And they laid waste to the rest of the Bullet Club.
Dang.
They beat the crap out of Kenny and them. And Kenny's been through hell in that match. They beat up the Young Bucks. They beat up Kenny. And then Adam Page, the Hangman, came out. They beat up him. They beat up Yujiro Takahashi. He came out. They beat him up. They beat up a few other people. Balak Fale was nowhere in sight. Yeah. But I assume he's going to be with the Tongas.
Well, yeah, for sure.
But they beat him up, and Cody came back out, and they offered him the chair to take out Kenny, and lo and behold, he hit the Tongas with it. Mm-hmm. So this is a face turn.
Yep.
Because Kenny's been basically a heel, but he turned into a face.
Yep.
And then King Haku took the chair out of his hand, and they laid waste to Cody. So now we got, and he helped Kenny up. Kenny and him hugged it out, and now they're together. And now we got two different versions of the Bullet Club. We got a good Bullet Club and we got a bad Bullet Club.
This just feels like an NWO thing because you have the regular NWO and the NWO Wolfpack.
Yeah, NWO Black and White, NWO Wolfpack, which was the red and black NWO. Yeah. So yeah, basically, well, we know that the Bullet Club basically is a mix, is like a version of those two different. It's like a modern version of all those groups. It's like a modern version of DX, a modern version of the NWO. That's all they are.
Yeah.
Those two major factions from the 90s that were in different promotions, never met. I don't even think WWE even did anything with them together, which was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you had X-Pac, so he was part of both of those groups at one time. That would have been weird, but yeah, now we're gonna probably have a feud with the. I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna call the Tonga version of it, or what they're gonna call the Cody and Kenny version of it. I don't know if they're even gonna be called the Bullet Club. They might change their name, or they probably will change the Tonga's name. They'll probably call them something else. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to wait and see. But the other match, that was the last match, and that was good.
Yeah.
But to go back to the match that we saw, that I forgot about, because this is the only other match I can remember really well, was Switchblade Jay White versus Juice Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
And this match was crazy. It was for the U.S. title, the United States title that they have, that was first won by, I believe, Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
And Jay White is the second person to hold it. So, and it's been held by a Canadian, and I think Jay White is English or Britain.
I think he's one of those two.
So it was never held by an American. Juice Robinson would have been the first, and he was. He did win the match.
Mm-hmm.
But he got thrown around left and right into guardrails that were not even attached to anything. They weren't attached to each other, so they flung and fell over each time they got thrown onto something. That's like, this was crazy.
Nice.
It was like, this is what you want to see in the WWE, but you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
If Vince was uninhibited and didn't care, we would get that.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to get none of that ever again. Yeah. That era's gone.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. He threw Juice Robinson into the announcers where JR and Josh Burnett was. And Josh said, "You didn't now, Jay White," and got up because they had to help JR up because JR got knocked over.
Oh, yeah.
And that cowboy hat, like it would, flew off. They had to help JR up. And then Josh wanted to go after Jay White. So I don't know if this is going to lead anything. I thought he might interfere later in the match and cost him the title, or he might do something right then. But he got up and tried to go after him, and then Red Shoes, the New Japan official, tried to stop him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is going to lead to something. This could lead to something later on. If they even bother to do something like that, that means that maybe Josh Barnett and Jay White might go at it at some point.
Yeah.
And Josh did wrestle, and he was an MMA fighter. And not too long ago, and I think last year or a year before, he was in TNA wrestling Lashley.
Yeah.
He did appear. I don't know how they worked that out or what the point of that was, but I still think that was a waste of Josh's time a little bit doing that.
Yeah.
But I think that they might do something with them, which would be interesting to see. Josh and Jay White go at it. Because Josh, I have never seen him wrestle. I only seen him wrestle Lashley. I need to go back and watch his match and just see how really good he is. But I believe he could do something. There could be helping that could help elevate Jay White a little more. Jay White's not doing too bad for himself.
Yeah.
These are guys that eventually we could see in WWE at some point. If Triple H, I know he watches these shows. He's taking interest in these guys.
Yeah.
Vince won't care.
Yeah.
But Triple H will.
Oh, yeah.
So we can see. I like to see where these guys' future ends up because that was an excellent show. This was great. These guys can really go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
These are the kind of guys you want WWE to have.
Oh,
I wish they would build their more of their own talent.
I think you would get more of that adult audience.
Yes, because
or
these guys,
that passionate wrestling fan base.
And these guys can light a fire under your homegrown talent. The people you got there that you're training. This like, hey, you look at this guy right here. I want you to be like him. I want you to do what this guy is doing.
Yeah.
Not kill yourself, because these guys in Japan, they try to murder themselves. It's crazy. I'm surprised how these guys are able to slam their backs on the ring post and all these things and not have major injuries. Because they're getting iced every time after the matches. You've seen where they ice them after that.
It's probably how where exactly on their back that they actually hit the post.
I feel like they're in the post, but what about at the edge of the ring, like on the hard part of the ring, like that stuff right there? Those guys are getting their backs iced, they're getting their necks iced. They're seriously throbbing probably after those matches.
Well, yeah.
Neither one of us could ever do that.
Well, yeah.
Even though we both probably had aspirations to do that at one point in our lives, but we come to the realization that we could never take that kind of punishment.
Yeah.
You bruise like a banana, so I know you can't take that kind of punishment.
I had a comeback for that, but I'm actually going to keep it to myself, so.
Yeah, it'd be best. But,
or do you want me to say it?
If you feel like you can.
Because I say if I age like a banana, you age like milk. So.
I don't know about that one. You might need to work on it.
True.
Well, I think that's all I have. That's all I had to say about the New Japan show. It was excellent.
Yep.
It was good.
All right.
If you can find it anywhere, try to catch it, man. It was great.
For sure.
So, you got any Ring of Honor for us?
Nothing really too big.
Nothing exciting went on?
Nothing really exciting. What do you say we go to Extreme Rules and then we'll do our weekly countdown.
Yeah. Let's go to Extreme Rules. Let's do our predictions.
Okay, so the kickoff will be the New Day versus Sanity in a tables match.
New Day versus.
I say Sanity.
I
would say Sanity.
They're gonna hurt them.
Yeah, I would say Sanity. Finn Balor will take on Baron Corbin, Constable Corbin.
I'm not too invested in that one.
Yeah, I'm not invested.
I mean, like, we just seen what they do. It's just there.
Yeah,
it's just a piss break.
I'll just say, well, just for the hell of it, I'll just say Finn Balor.
Yeah, I mean, like, how much can Corbin do?
Yeah,
it's just there. It's just there. It's just there to fill up dead air.
Yep. The Raw Tag Team titles will be on the line. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus the B Team.
We're invested in this.
I am, because this is a very good story.
This is an interesting story.
I still think Hardy and Wyatt are still on a. They're still on a roll.
Keep the titles.
Yeah,
they're good. I mean, like, they're in a good place right now.
But I do see the B Team putting up a good fight in this one.
And eventually, I do see them putting the titles on them.
Yeah,
I mean, like, they're doing so well, and people are getting behind them.
Isn't it ironic that Bo Dallas is the one imitating Bray Wyatt?
Yes. Well, he does look like him a bit. They're brothers. So
I will say,
it works.
I will say they picked the right people to make fun of, because Curtis Axel looks very similar to Matt Hardy with that hair.
Yeah.
It is pretty funny. Carmella and Asuka go at it one more time for the SmackDown Women's Championship, but this time Ellsworth will be in a shark cage.
Just like Enzo Amore was, I think, last year sometime.
Yeah. This one can go either way. I'm gonna say Carmella, because she's gonna find a way.
Yeah, she's always gonna find a way. They're just not gonna give that to Asuka again, because they're trying to tear Asuka down to build her back up.
Yeah.
Because you can't have her win all the time. I mean, like,
yeah, true.
She had an undisputed streak, so the limited roster of women you have on SmackDown, if she runs through all of them, what are you gonna do? Call up other women?
Yeah.
You have to bring Amber, and Amber Moon never beat her in NXT. You would have to bring Amber Moon over to wrestle her, and she never really actually beat her.
Yeah. Alexa Bliss will take on Nia Jax in an Extreme Rules match for the Raw Women's Championship. Do you think Alexa
wins? But wins.
Ronda Rousey will be at ringside.
Oh, yeah, that is the deciding factor now, is it?
So, even though her suspension is up that Wednesday, do you think...
this Wednesday?
Yes. Yeah. It's this Wednesday her suspension will be officially over.
Oh, you mean this coming Wednesday, not this past Wednesday?
No. This coming Wednesday, her suspension will be gone.
Okay.
So, do you think she gets involved in this match, or do you think she just kicks back and watches?
She might get involved. Ronda is presented as being a firecracker. So
I will say Ronda gets involved after the match.
Yeah, she might beat the crap out of Alexa after the match.
Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. title. I think Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Ziggler Rollins in a 30-minute Iron Man match for the Intercontinental Championship. I'll say Ziggler 2-1.
I think, and I think Rollins might get it. I think he might win it back.
I don't know because the thing is, if you're pushing Ziggler, well, I mean, I understand taking it off of him because I mean, Ziggler's been very up and down throughout his whole career here.
That's what I was basing it on.
I think Ziggler deserves a run with that belt.
If not,
and I could see maybe Drew McIntyre turning on him. You know,
that's a possibility.
So, the Bludgeon Brothers will take on a reunited Team Hell No for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Who's the weakest link?
I will say the Bludgeon Brothers win this one.
Yeah.
And then Kane gets written off to go back to his political world.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to start to see Miz and Bryan set up for SummerSlam. Strowman and Owens inside of a steel cage. I'll say Strowman.
May God have mercy on Owens' soul.
AJ Styles versus Rusev for the WWE Championship. I'm going to say AJ Styles.
He retains.
And
they're not going to put that title on Rusev right now.
Yeah.
Especially when AJ's hot and he's a champion.
Well, Rusev is pretty hot too with his Rusev Day gimmick.
But still, this is AJ Styles. This is a phenomenal one.
The last thing I wanted to be is the main event: Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley.
Do we really care about this crap?
Well,
do we care about Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley?
I do, but
WWE wants us to care.
This should not be the main event.
One of those, there should be a title match at the main event. If not the U.S. title, if not the Universal title, because Brock is holding that thing hostage. He ain't been on the show.
Well, he's going to lose it rumored he's supposed to lose it at SummerSlam.
He shouldn't have held the title so freaking long. That's ridiculous.
Well, WWE kind of got their hands trapped with that one.
That's their own fault. They had no business putting that title on him, knowing that he doesn't show up. He only has a limited number of appearances, knowing he doesn't be on every show.
Well, also, too, you got to think about, you're trying to make that title prestigious, but how do you make it prestigious when it's not even there?
That's the problem. That's Vince's fault, and it solely lies with Vince.
I think what could happen with this is that winner faces Brock at SummerSlam, and everyone's going to be rooting for Lashley.
It's probably going to be Roman. It should be. It probably. Hopefully, it's Lashley.
I would not be surprised if Roman wins, but you got to do something with Lashley. So I say Bobby Lashley wins.
If you're gonna do anything, make it a three-way. Yeah. It may not be the ideal situation, but it's what you got.
But I would have, in order to keep Lesnar strong, do you have Lashley pin Roman in that rumored SummerSlam triple threat?
Probably because. They're not gonna do that to Lesnar.
Brock,
they're gonna keep Lesnar like as strong as possible.
Yeah, because the only people that have pinned Brock Lesnar, Cena, Undertaker, Triple H.
Yeah.
So.
And Triple H, for obvious reasons, he's the COO of the company. Yeah. And Undertaker is a legend. His track record speaks for itself. You got to let him win at some point.
Yeah.
And John Cena, poster boy, face of the company.
Yeah.
At the time, he's kind of not the face now.
Well, that's because he's kind of got the Rock's schedule now.
Rock's schedule.
So
whatever he wants.
Yeah, whenever he wants. All right, you want to do a countdown here?
Let's do it.
All right, the countdown is brought to you by thesportster.com. Every article you can think of, check them out online, thesportster.com. Now, a lot of people have been wondering, why do not characters go off script a whole lot? Why do they have to read something? Speaking of this countdown, these are 20 stars who went off script, 10 who went for the better, and 10 who got major heat.
Big cast.
Now the betters are going to be the evens. The heats are going to be the odds. Do you get where I'm going with this?
I believe so.
Okie dokie. All right, number 20 for the better, Roman Reigns after WrestleMania 33, where he stood in the ring for just 10 minutes, not saying anything. Every time he brought the mic up, the boos got louder, and he was just walking around just waiting for the crowd to die down, but they didn't. Now, before he said, "This is my yard now," after he beat Undertaker, those boos were so loud, you could not even imagine being there. But that ended up benefiting him.
Because that was a saying that caught on, a little catchphrase.
Yep.
That caught on really well.
Yeah, because especially with everything that was said during that match, during that segment, like "F you, Roman, go away, Roman."
Yeah.
So, number 19, that got major heat, Brock Lesnar, was SummerSlam 2015 when he was facing Randy Orton. This big hype match that turned out to be nothing but a squash. Now Brock
and that was when he elbowed.
Yep, he was elbowed. Now, Brock was supposed to win via a referee stoppage, but he broke the script with shots to the head. Which,
and there was always the conversation that Jericho asked, "Was that the finish?"
Yeah, and apparently there was a scuffle between
them.
Yeah.
And Brock said, "I guess, are you gonna hit me or kiss me?"
Yeah,
he got under Jericho's skin.
Yep.
Brock. And then they said also maybe that was a plan, that he was supposed to give Randy those shots. Mm-hmm. But if that's the case, WWE wouldn't. I think he had like a concussion from that.
Yeah.
So WWE wouldn't.
I think he got staples from it too. So
WWE wouldn't have that.
Because he was bleeding pretty bad.
Because as serious as how they act with concussions and stuff, they would not have let that happen.
Yeah.
And it makes them look like hypocrites when it comes to things like that.
Number 18, who got better when I'm going off script, Braun Strowman, Survivor Series 2017. Now that was after the match when he and Triple H were the sole survivors of Team Red. He was only supposed to deliver one power slam, but he ended up delivering a second one, and that got over with the audience. And now the audience is fully invested into Braun Strowman.
Did he get reprimanded for that at all, or in trouble, or they just let it slide?
I don't really know. I think they just let it slide.
I think so, because if it got over and they hear that, because he would have got in trouble right afterwards. I don't think he didn't get pulled off of TV or nothing. We kept seeing him, and he was always in good programming. So I guess they decided that it was fine.
Yep. Number 17, who got heat. This one was really no surprise. Neville, because he refused to lose to Enzo Amore again after losing to him for the Cruiserweight Championship, and Neville got so frustrated, he asked for his release from the company if they didn't want to use him better, but they ended up freezing his contract. And
it's still frozen now?
I think it's still frozen.
So he can't wrestle nowhere because of this?
Yep.
Which is bullcrap.
Which again, I could see because WWE wanted to make Enzo the face of 205 Live.
Yeah, now look, if you did that, look what the heck happened when you did that.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
Yeah.
Because Enzo was getting hit, but he was getting a bunch of heat off of that crap.
Yeah.
And he had heat in the back, and you put him on that show and try to make him a face, and look what happened.
Well, the thing is, I thought the heel turn was good for him.
Yeah, it was.
Because he was getting heat from the audience.
But he also had actual heat with the people in the back, the other wrestlers.
Yeah.
He got kicked out of the locker room by Roman Reigns one time.
Yeah.
And I can understand it. I can understand Neville. I mean, Neville didn't like that idea. Neville's too good of a wrestler to lose to someone like that, because he, in storyline, wasn't even liked by the 205 Live roster.
Yeah. Number 16 for the better was the Miz's promo on Daniel Bryan during Talking Smack, where basically Daniel Bryan called him soft and a coward, and the Miz fired back at him saying, "You're not allowed to wrestle here. Why aren't you going back onto the Indies?" Because on Miz's Miz's video photo shoot, he was actually talking about it, saying that they had nothing because that's when he was still Intercontinental Champion, and they didn't have nothing for him. So he went off on Talking Smack, and look at him now. He's one of the top stars in WWE because of that promo.
Yes, according to you, they really don't like each other to begin with.
Yeah.
And that also can go back to maybe their time as pro
and rookie
from the second season of NXT.
No, it was the first one.
The first one. Oh yes, the first season of it.
Yeah. Which again, I like these two because these two are like polar opposites.
Yes.
And it works.
It really does. I mean, like, that whole SmackDown segment was great, and you could tell Miz was super frustrated. That was partially real right there.
Yeah, that was partially real, but also, too, it helped Miz also on Raw, because when he got shipped to Raw, I thought he was going to get lost in the shuffle, but he ended up not. He ended up having one of the highest-rated segments, and then getting shipped to SmackDown when Daniel Bryan got cleared. Now it's like, okay, now we can finally see these two go at each other.
Exactly.
Number 15, who got heat? Sasha Banks. After losing her title to Alexa Bliss, went on and called her a phony with no passion for wrestling. Because these two did have heat with each other
heat in real life,
but they kept it professional.
Yeah.
So, number 14, who got the better going off script, was Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was having a match against Neville. I think it was on Raw, and he got into a heated exchange with referee Charles Robinson.
Because Neville seemed like he got hurt
in that match.
He wanted to get him help. I remember that, and I heard him say he's hurt.
Yep.
They actually was on Jericho's podcast, and I guess they talked about it. And I guess they had already been apologized, but they even probably apologized after all that went down.
Yeah.
And they talked about it. Yep. So they were on. They were like Charles Robinson was on his podcast.
Yep. Number 13, who got heat, Gail Kim, and when she eliminated herself from the Women's Battle Royal, that was off the script because she wanted to be released from the company because I don't think she liked how the women were getting treated.
And really,
at that time,
and you can't blame her.
Yeah, and which now if you look at her, she's in the TNA Hall of Fame, married to a chef, and she's doing very, very well for herself.
What else is she doing? Is she still with the company in another capacity?
I don't really even know. I know she's retired.
We've seen her a few different. I've seen her a few different times on TNA and doing stuff. I know she's retired from in-ring action. That doesn't mean she's an agent or something or doing something for the company.
Yeah, something like that. All right, number 12, who got better going off script, was Kevin Owens. He cut a promo on the WWE Network draft special about being selected so late in the draft because they needed someone to hold that title when Finn Balor got injured and Roman Reigns was in the doghouse because of his wellness policy violation.
Yeah.
Number 11, who got heat, was Samoa Joe. This was during NXT TakeOver Dallas when he was facing Finn Balor, when he was bleeding profusely, but he kept pushing the trainers out of the way just so he can keep going with the match. But the fans were having none of it. They were chanting FPG, FPG, and Samoa Joe was going along with it. He was playing to the crowd for heckling that.
And you get heat for that when the man can't help but bleed?
Yeah. But Joe did have a little talk with the trainers and apologized.
Well, he's trying to keep the match going. He's trying to go with it.
Because the trainers kept trying to stop the match. So, all right. Number 10, who got the better, was again The Miz when he roasted Enzo Amore, not only for being an outcast because he mentioned getting kicked out of the locker room, but also he was wasting his potential.
Boy, howdy.
Well, I will admit
that is.
Those two going at each other was very entertaining, especially when those two were going at it, especially during the match when they were, micing each other. But I think maybe the best part was when Enzo got on the mic and he said, "Who's your daddy?" When he said, "You got to ask that little baby," because when they announced that Maurice was pregnant, they asked that kid is, "Who's your daddy?" And that snapped Miz.
You don't mess with a man and his unborn child.
Which I will admit, even though I don't know if that part was scripted or not, but that was a very entertaining part because that got a lot of attention from the audience
and probably a lot of heat on Enzo Amore because nobody wants to hear crap like that.
Yeah, but it also got a chant too, the following week.
Oh,
who's your daddy? So, all right, number 9, who got heat? Randy Orton for ruining Kofi Kingston's push during their little feud. Because during a match, Randy Aloud called him stupid for missing a spot in the ring. But Kofi's been doing pretty well for himself now.
How did Randy get heat for doing that? He got heat from the back of other fans.
I think from the back because Egg was, like I said earlier, he called him stupid for missing a spot, but also too, I think during their brawl in Madison Square Garden, he didn't come out on time because there was a part there, and it's actually on the video. Orton's looking into the hard camera and he's throwing his hands up like where is he? And then that's when Kingston comes out. But again, Kingston got a lot of good.
Do you mean Kingston got heat or
he got buried?
Oh, you said Orton got heat, or did Kingston get heat?
No. Orton got the heat for burying Kofi Kingston.
Oh, okay. I see now.
Yeah.
I thought Kingston got in trouble for all that stuff. They thought he messed up. I didn't know Orton got in trouble.
Yeah. Number 8, who got the better? Chris Jericho and Triple H. As you know, they had one of the most underrated rivalries during the Attitude Era.
Oh yeah, and also the Ruthless Aggression.
Ruthless Aggression, I think, yeah. Now this was back in 2014 when Triple H commented on Jericho's silly scarf. This is when, and then Jericho retorted back with his tie, which again brought back that Jericho Triple H.
Oh yeah,
back and forth that they had during the Attitude Era. Number 7, you're gonna find this one kind of funny. Who got heat was The Rock. Because during a dark segment when Raw was in Los Angeles, the crowd was chanting CM Punk, and The Rock called him in the ring and left a voicemail because of all of the CM Punk chants that still continue on during this time.
And they always will.
Number 6, who got the better from an off script? Daniel Bryan. Now this was during the TLC Champions Summit when they were going to combine the WWE's. Yeah, they were going to combine both of the championships. Now, this was in Seattle, in Daniel Bryan's hometown. The fans were not interested in this segment. They were chanting for Daniel Bryan, which again makes sense because that was the time when Daniel Bryan was riding his hot streak. Now we hit the top 5. Who got heat? Finn Balor and AJ Styles. After their match at TLC 2017 for Too Sweeting, that wasn't supposed to be a part of the script. Now it seems like Finn Balor's getting the back end of that punishment and Styles isn't.
Which is ridiculous because they know they were going to do it. You let the other guys do it. You let them do it any other time. You know that they had to do it.
Yeah.
They were both former leaders of the Bullet Club. You knew they were going to do something.
Yeah.
You let AJ and Finn at different times with their different factions, the club and the Balor Club, you let them with the Good Brothers do the same thing. Mm-hmm. So what is the problem right now, WWE?
Number 4, who got the better going off script? Alexa Bliss. Now this one happened after winning the SmackDown Women's Championship from Becky Lynch when she was on Talking Smack or something because it was a SmackDown pay-per-view because she never had a match on any NXT Takeover special. And she wins the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Oh yeah.
Number 3, who got heat from going off script? Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Now they were supposed to take a beat down from the New Day, but
they left the ring.
Yeah, they left the ring. Now they were taken off a UK tour, missing a handful of shows. But they said in an interview that all of it was just a misunderstanding. So who knows?
Yeah, WWE, they kind of can go a little bit overboard with some of the stuff they do because some of their stuff that they do isn't even unreasonable half the time.
Number 2 who got the better going off script was Stephanie McMahon. Now this was when during the CM Punk chants, and she shut down those chants by referencing him as a quitter and referencing his loss in the UFC. So that kind of silenced them for a little bit, but they're slowly starting to come back. Especially when they're in Chicago.
And I'm pretty sure the fans are still calling Stephanie names to themselves. They probably call her stuff too on social media.
And the number 1 heat, who do you think it is?
You tell me.
Asuka.
How the hell did Asuka get heat?
After their WrestleMania match at 34 with Charlotte, because she tapped out. That was her first loss. Now, according that, those two were supposed to shake hands and show respect, but she ended up hugging Charlotte after the match, which implied that she was happy to lose and to have that streak ended. It's because now if you look at her now she's kind of in a little comedy thing with Carmella and James Ellsworth.
Okay, now that is dumb. You're gonna punish her for something so stupid. That doesn't matter. You had people do that before.
It made a good segment too.
It did. So instead of just taking a good segment, into a segment to a feud or whatever it was, you're gonna punish the girl for doing that. WWE can make some dumb choices sometimes.
Yeah.
You're gonna ruin that woman because of something potentially like that. And this is what I'm saying. I'm going into another rant.
Here we go.
Be quiet.
I didn't say anything. I was just introducing it.
They do that all the time. They'll get upset with somebody over something trivial, and they'll punish them for it. We don't know what the heck Damian Sandow did, and he got released. He got released from WWE. We don't know what the heck he did. They'll do stuff to people because it's a minor thing that doesn't warrant half of the stuff they're getting punished for. It's ridiculous. WWE does that all the time, and then they ruin people and never ever can get them back to the way they were. Who knows how long this will ruin? If this will ruin Asuka or not help her? You gotta at least let her win. At some point after this whole thing's over with, you gotta let Asuka start winning again to build back up her credibility. You cannot do that. I'm always gonna be disappointed in WWE when they be like this. It's just completely, in my opinion. The company acts way unprofessional themselves most of the times when he pulls stunts like that over minor stuff.
Well, and it's actually suffered, like we talked about earlier. Raw had its lowest viewership in history, and SmackDown's kind of on the way up.
Yeah. WWE, get your stuff together is all I'm saying.
All right, well, that does it for me. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add, any other rants.
Be quiet. No, I don't have anything else.
I didn't reference any wolf slang or anything.
You just did.
I just said wolf slang. That's not referencing anything. I
still got my pack.
Of who? Your Cubs?
You got jokes. You got jokes for real.
Isn't that what a podcast is supposed to be about? Ribbing each other too? You are so silent over there. I think I must have stunned you.
Just end the podcast already, man, before I go across this table.
All right. Well, besides, just to be honest, the table's 20 feet long. So, all right,
be quiet.
That does it for us. Don't forget Extreme Rules this Sunday. Check it out on the WWE Network for only
$9.99.
Okay, good. I'm glad you caught that setup there.
Be quiet.
Okay, we're gonna end it here before Ja'Cory goes into another hissy fit.
Don't tell people my real name.
That's not your real name. Your real name's Gerard the Wolf. Remember that. Ja'Cory was your nickname. All right, guys. That's it for us. Take care, and we will see you next week.
Later.